Welcome everybody, John Alexander with you today. Today I'm going to be talking about the lease part of the course. Now, you've seen that we've got just released and we just launched our core, the inverse option flip. Now this is a lease flip and a rent-to-own flip. So there's two different parts to the course. In fact, there's a third part because we also are going to show you how to do seller financing on those flips. But traditionally what's been taught for years now have been the rent-to-own and the regular seller financing or wraparound type flips. And so those have really been taught. Now I still needed to put them in the manual because you're going to run across those deals. And there's a lot of profit to be made on those deals as well when you run across them. But right now, we've got a different market out there. We have a lease market. And if you've talked to real estate agents or anybody actually trying to look to buy a home right now, they're really not trying to look to buy a home. And real estate agents are really not selling that many homes. What they're doing is they're leasing a lot of homes. So where at one time real estate agents were selling 4 or 5 homes a month, now they're leasing 4 or 5 homes a week. Now that's a big change in the market. And if you know how to tap into it, understand the concepts that I've explained in the manual here in this course, you're going to be able to go out there and not do what real estate agents do, because you have to be licensed, you have to do all this other stuff connected into that, and you lose half your commission every time you do a deal. But as a private investor, you can go out there and flip wholesale lease deals, and that's what I'm teaching you in this course. Right now, the leasing market is just on fire. We've now seen across the country on a whole segment, which is the main segment of housing, the rents have stopped going down and they've now turned. They're starting to go up. And that's because the inventory is starting to become lower. And we have this new influx of buyers, well, used to be buyers coming into the market. They can no longer buy because the banks are still not loaning money. And when they do loan, they want 10, 20% down and stellar credit. So you have this onslaught of people coming into the market. Primarily, by the way, from foreclosures that's still happening at record highs, and they only have one choice, and that's to lease. Now, they can rent to own. However, the problem on the other side of this, the seller problem or the investor problem, is that they don't want to rent to own. They don't want to actually sell their house right now. So many investors right now in today's market bought a house right now at the market lows, and not to resell, but to hold for the next 10, 20 years and build equity in those properties. So their object is not to sell, it's to lease out. All right, so this is why it's such a huge market that's starting to develop. It's starting to, actually it's on fire right now. And what you need to do is you need to be in at the ground floor and be able to work with these investors that are holding onto these properties or looking to lease them out, work with these homeowners at the same time who they're also at record lows. They don't want to sell their home right now. Some of them, you know, even though some of them are upside down, they are still making their payments to the mortgage company every month. They're okay financially because they have income. It's just that they need to move or they're moving on, and they need to now lease this house out right now and wait for the market to come back, and then they'll sell it later. So that's the two basic causes for this leasing market right now. And we've seen since January, since the turn of the year, that lease is now becoming really, really popular. And if you want to be in the real estate market today with the least amount of paperwork, least amount of hassles, you want to be able to be in this market. Now, what I do in the course is I go through giving you right down to the scripts of exactly what to say to these homeowners and these investors so that you can, in essence, put an option to lease that home with their understanding that you're going to sublease it or release it out to somebody else, and then assign everything back to them and walk away from the deal. Now it's broken into two scripts. There's a script that I've developed over the years, which can apply to almost anything, and then the secondary is the offer. It's a no risk offer to them. They can't lose. It doesn't cost them anything. They don't tie up their home. Nothing. It just allows them to continue going about trying to lease their house if that's what they want to do. But it allows you to get in there and actually bring them a better client for that house, a better renter for that house. And also I'm going to show you how to develop enough of these renters that you actually have them lined up waiting for you to go out there and determine which house you're actually going to put them in. So we're going to show you and go through all the things that you have to do this business legally. You can't just go out there and run with this concept. You've got to know what you legally can do and what you legally can't do. Because if you go out there and just start trying to lease houses and stuff like that, you're actually going to be acting as a real estate agent, and you get yourself into legal hot water fast. So what I do in the course is I show you exactly how you need to set your business up, how to go about it, use the proper documents, use the proper paperwork, and everything is detailed out. Even the legal aspects are going to be detailed out for you. So I put this all together for you. There's no reason why anybody can't go out right now and start doing multiple leases. Once you understand how you can line up people who are looking to lease that haven't even started also trying to go through that to the leasing market yet, or who have had trouble leasing, I'm going to show you how to cure the problems, get this list of leasees lined up, and that's going to put money in your pocket. There's several different ways, by the way, of making money in this business. I go through a lot of different ways of making money in the business today. This is probably the most cutting edge course that's out there right now. It's also the most cutting edge technique. Everything else was really, a lot of the other courses and a lot of the other techniques worked great years ago, but none of them are working so hot right now. Even short sales, buying foreclosures, those are pretty much in the past as well. They are so difficult to get closed today that it's not even funny, and it takes a lot of money if you're going to run in that business. Now, you can still make money in short sales. I'm not saying you can't, but you're going to have a lot of deals that fall apart and never get to closing table. You've got to have the wherewithal and the money to last through that. You're also, if you're going to buy foreclosures, you have to go into the landlord business, because you're not going to be able to resell those homes, or it's going to take a lot of money for you to go in there and buy cash and flip them. So these are the problems in the regular market today, which don't exist in the lease flip side of the business. There's no landlord. Once you put a deal together, you're taking the first month's rent as your profit, and you walk away from the deal. You're not tied to the deal. You don't have landlord problems or headaches or anything like that. It's a very clean deal. You're in and out. Your goal should be to do anywhere between 2 to 5 deals a week. And once you know how to go out there and line up your leasees, so you have them basically on a waiting list, you build that list, you'll be able to go out there and tackle this market and do exceptionally well in it.